it's a joke you broke. Your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you. Like I've been there before. I'll be there for you.
Good morning, everybody. Today is going to be of a more serious show. As some of you may know, I recently went to Rwanda, and I witnessed firsthand the horrible effects human trafficking has had. I talked to survivors of men, women, and children that have been dehumanized by this crime. Being there opened my eyes to the severity of human trafficking. It is the world's fastest global crime, and it spans over 161 countries, America being one of the top 3. Ladies and gentlemen, human trafficking is happening right in your backyards. Recently in the town of Castleton, just 20 minutes away from this very studio, 2 girls were saved from human trafficking. The trafficker, who goes by the name Buddy Ray, was killed on scene. One of the girls, Ashley, was rescued by a man named Antonio Marie, but was kidnapped by the same man, Buddy Ray. To raise awareness of this issue, I will be speaking with those girls, Candy and Ashley, and the brave boy who helped save them from Buddy Ray, Mickey Boliter. Our first guest this morning is Candy. A warm welcoming for Candy. Hi. So,
It's a
good
pleasure
morning
to be here. Thank you.
What was your childhood like?
Well, I grew up in the lounge, the go-go lounge. My mother, she raised me for a little bit, and then she left. She ran off with some guy, and then I never really knew my father, so that's kind of how it was.
So you had a rough childhood?
Yeah, I didn't grow up with normal parents, you know?
Yeah. Did you have any dreams as a child?
Yes, I had many. I mean, being in that place, all you could really do was dream. So my mother was my biggest inspiration to dream because we shared the same. She helped me, make plans of what I would do when I would get out and all this stuff. I never really got to experience any of them until now.
What drove you to the lounge? I mean, you keep talking about how you were in this lounge.
Well, after my mother left, Buddy Ray, he was very kind and caring, and he made me, feel safe until I became a little bit older, and he wanted something from me, and then he made me dance for people. He made me sell myself. He abused me if we didn't listen. Things would only get worse, and we really didn't have anywhere else to go. I didn't feel like a human.
So he basically dehumanized you?
Yes, in ways of physically and mentally. I did not feel like my own person. He dictated the girls' lives very much.
Do you think girls in your situation are more vulnerable to human trafficking?
I very much think so because they do not have the proper background that any normal child would, because I didn't have parents to support me. The lounge is all I know. I didn't have money, and if a guy comes up to you and tells you that he can give you better and he can give you your dreams, you're going to believe him.
Yeah.
So.
What were your first thoughts when you first heard about the White Death and Antonio Marie?
Well, of course I was terrified. I mean, what place could be worse than the lounge? Nobody wanted to go there. But it turns out that it wasn't as horrible, but at first we were all very terrified. We heard it was horrible, girls who go there don't come back, and anything that was worth in the lounge was just, you know.
So when Ashley was kidnapped by this same man, did you ever think about saving her?
I thought about saving her all the time. I wanted to save her. I thought about plans and all this stuff, but and then I thought about, like, how I'm only one worthless girl, and if I
You're
can't...
not worthless.
But if I can't save myself, how can I save someone else? So...
Now that Buddy Ray's taken down, obviously, what are your aspirations in life? What do you plan on doing now that you have your freedom back?
Well, I never really experienced freedom, so I'm gonna get the proper schooling, I believe, find a shelter just to get me on my feet, normal jobs, and I hope to stay close to Ashley and live out the dreams that we hoped and learn how to integrate with society again, so yeah, I hope it goes for the best.
I hope it does too.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure. Next, our next guest this morning is Ashley Roth. Please welcome her. So, if I say anything too much, just tell me. We don't have to speak about it. This interview will be guided by you.
That's fine, thank you.
So, Ashley, I know you had a rough childhood. I know your mother passed early on. Your father wasn't in your life. Tell me about it.
Well, as you said, my mother passed when I was very young, and my father wasn't in my life. So my mother was all I knew. I didn't have anybody else, and my mother was obviously, working at the Go-Go Lounge, and I basically grew up there with her there. And that's all I knew. I only knew the lounge and those people and Buddy Ray. And so when my mother passed, it was really hard because she's the only person I could go to that actually understood me and didn't, everyone else was just so, I don't know, they were just, that's hard to talk about, how I was treated there. But when she passed, it was really difficult, and I had to,
I could imagine.
yeah, I didn't really know anybody else, and I was just, I couldn't go anywhere when she passed. I didn't have anyone to go to. I was just kind of stuck there. And
Why stay, though? Like, why not leave and get away from Buddy Ray's abuse?
well, actually, he told me that when my mother passed that she had debts that I had to pay off, that I had to continue working, and I had to continue what my mother did, because since she was gone, she couldn't pay them off, that I had to do that. But now, as I know, I was young then, and I didn't really know what was going on, but now I know he didn't necessarily mean that, just was trying to keep me around because he wanted some things from me. But and it's not as easy as it seems to just escape and leave,
He'll go and find you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you first got kidnapped, what was going through your head?
Everything. When a strange man just comes up and takes you, everything was going through my head. I was just thinking of the worst, like what is going on? What is he going to do to me? I didn't know. Never saw this man before, and then I'm being kidnapped. And it was just, I was just thinking the worst, and I was thinking, this is it. Like, I'm going to die, And I was thinking worse the entire time.
So when, obviously it was Antonio Lamarine, when he first kidnapped you and integrated you back to society, how was it like? You basically got a new identity, Ashley Kent. What was it like to being Ashley Roth and then all of a sudden going from living a new identity?
Yeah. It was weird. It was really different. But it was kind of nice at the same time because my whole life, as I said before, all I knew was the Go-Go Lounge and that kind of life. So when he gave me the opportunity to go out and be kind of like a normal teenager, which I never had the opportunity to do, it was kind of nice, and I thought, like, oh, this, might be nice, just kind of get out in the real world, experience some things I never had the chance to. But then, when I was actually got, to high school, and I started going through some things, and it was kind of scary, because I looked the same, it's not like my looks changed, I was just...
And that's where you met Mickey.
Yeah. We met it.
Did you know about the rumors that were circling around that you were kidnapped and sold into human trafficking? Did you know about the White Death?
No, I actually didn't know about any of that at first. I didn't know anything, and then once I got back to the lounge, the girls told me, and Candy, she told me about it, and what everyone thought happened to me. And I thought it was funny, like, well, why would that happen to me, That's not what was going on. But now, like, realizing, like, wow, that was happening to me my whole entire life. That's what I was going through my whole life, and I never realized it. And I don't think any of us did. So
it's good to shine light on it now.
Yeah.
Did you know the boy you met, Mickey, did you know he was searching for you the whole time? And he was actually one of the people who thought you were sold into human trafficking? When you just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Mickey, I didn't know he was searching for me. I didn't really know anything that was going on outside, in the outside world, like when I came back to the lounge, in the back of my head I was kind of thinking, maybe he would be curious and he would come searching for me or something, because we only, knew each other for a short time, but, he was, my only friend when I was out in the real world, and he was new to the school, so I was, his only friend, and we got pretty close. So, I could imagine he would come and search for me, want to look for me, but I never knew he would go this far out of his way for me. I, never would have guessed that.
Well, you said something about how you went back. Why go back to the Go-Go Lounge after you got this new identity? Why go back and be another victim to Buddy Ray's abuse?
Well, some people disagree with me when I talk about this, but Candy, I went back for Candy. Her and I had a very close relationship, and we grew up together in the lounge, She, besides my mother, she was the only person that I really knew, and we would just dream about, when we get out of this place, what we were going to do. And, we would talk about that, but we never would talk about if one of us got out, but not the other. Everything we were going to do it together. So when I was out and, Ashley, Kent, or whatever, some people may know about the emails between us two, but we really just... I felt horrible for leaving her and not taking her. We made a pact when we were... The whole time in there, we made a pact that we were only going to leave together. And then I left her, and that wasn't right. I'd rather us both suffer together there than me be out being safe and in the back of my head knowing that someone I care about is...
So it was more about your guilty conscience, as I'm assuming.
Yeah, definitely.
So now that you're totally free and Buddy Ray's gone, what have you been up to? What is life like being Ashley Roth? Just being yourself?
It's really different because I've never experienced this before, so it's weird, and I don't really know what to do with myself. Candy and I plan on, going back to school, getting an education, just basic things that we were going to need, and just, I don't know, going to a shelter or something to just get ourselves back on track, because we can't just step into the world and just,
Well, I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
When we come back, we'll be speaking to Mickey Bolter, the boy who risked his life to save Ashley and Candy. More after this break. Please welcome our next and final guest, the unsung hero, Nikki Portillo. How are you?
Good.
Wow, look at that stud muffin, ladies and gentlemen. You are one cute boy.
Okay, calm down. Especially you.
So, I'm just gonna dive right in here. When Candy first told you about the White Death and Antonio Lemery, what were your first thoughts?
Well, my initial reaction was automatically fear. I didn't know what to do. And I believe Candy, I trust her in a way, but I don't know. And I thought all the possibilities that Ashley could be going through, the worst, which she could be dealing with, and I just wanted to save her. So my reaction was I had to do something, like, I knew I needed to do it.
So, before this incident all occurred, did you know what human trafficking was?
I mean, I knew of human trafficking, I knew what it was, but I didn't know that it could happen so close, how common it was, and just how vulnerable girls can be to it.
So, did it ever cross your mind that the girl who you loved, Ashley, was a victim of human trafficking?
Well, when she was kidnapped, I obviously realized that, she could be going into, like, slave stuff, like, people could be using her for sex and all this. But when we were dating, I never would have assumed her past or anything like that, so.
So, what drove you to save the girls who were being dehumanized at the Go-Go Lounge?
Well, I never really came into consideration to leave them behind. My number one goal was to protect Emma, Rachel, and Ashley, and Candy, but while trying to keep myself alive through all the...
Wait, I'm sorry, you said Emma and Rachel?
They were my friends that were helping assist, yeah. I was just trying to keep them alive. They kind of moseyed their way in and wanted to help. And I was trying to keep myself alive, too, because obviously Buddy Ray and his gang were pretty tough. So I never really decided to leave them behind. It was never a thought.
Yeah. There were rumors that you were speaking to the famous Bat Lady that's been very commonly known in your hometown. Did she have anything to do with saving Ashley or this whole ordeal?
Well, I did run into Bat Lady a couple times, mostly me just being a curious teenager and, crossing paths, all this stuff, getting caught. But she's actually a really nice lady. She did give me some tips on Ashley, and she knew my father. But I can't really go into any more depth due to confidentiality, So.
Yeah. So, why not call the cops? You're a 16-year-old boy. Why take this all on yourself?
Well, the sheriff of my town, he has a long past with my uncle who has guardianship over me. They didn't get along as kids, so they kind of has a long-term vendetta against my uncle, and he took his anger out on me. So it was no point because anything I would do, I would get in trouble for. So, yeah.
So, do you know how Ashley's doing now? I mean, I just spoke to her. She seems pretty well. Are you guys in contact with each other? How's that been?
I know she's doing better, obviously. We don't really talk that much because, well, honestly, it's not going to ever work out between us. I know that because of the age difference, and we just don't really know each other. Like, she has a whole past. I have a different past. She's older than me, and it's just not going to work out, but I'll always have a soft spot, I guess you could say, for Ashley.
So, you're an unsung hero. have any better or future plans? None that will almost get you killed, I hope.
Well, I do hope to continue saving people with my buddy Tony Lamar, and he helped me through. Obviously, gonna get proper training, preparation. Hopefully, I'll be more prepared.
You mean saving people? You mean going into the police force?
In a way, I guess I can't really go into too depth because you won't understand, but like I'll just kind of like how I saved Ashley, gonna save other girls like that too. But I'm not gonna let the violence scare me away. Hopefully I'll be more prepared for it, but it's not gonna stop me, so.
Well, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. It was a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
This concludes our show, Wake Up with Gibs. I hope you are now more informed about the severity of human trafficking and can be more aware to prevent it. Tune in tomorrow about my dog's strange addictions.